Today's highlight clip is brought to you by Monday.com. Monday.com is a project management tool that makes organizing and tracking work projects super easy. The platform is suitable for any size team, from 2 freelancers working together to thousands collaborating across the globe. If you go to Monday.com/believe, you get a 14-day free trial.
We do have one of the biggest, if not the most anticipated return of a fighter in the UFC this year, other than McGregor. Khabib, obviously they both got suspended at the same time. Khabib is back in action in 2 days, and the UFC are all out in Abu Dhabi in force. All the world's MMA media are all out there. This, what's the word I'm looking for? Insatiable? Is it insatiable? Insatiable appetite for this card, Lewis. Khabib Nurmagomedov comes back against Dustin Poirier, then Edson Barboza, Paul Felder in the co-main event. I think they're the 2 big fights, but by far and large, Khabib, Poirier, massive fight. Where should we start with all of this?
I mean, we obviously got to talk about Khabib and Poirier. That's what everyone's excited about. What time is the fight? It's early, right, Harrington?
2 p.m.
Pacific?
Yeah, I believe it's Eastern. So it's like 11 a.m. Pacific.
11 o'clock.
Beautiful. We'll probably get together, get a little crew together on Saturday and watch the fights. If you guys want to do that, over at my place. Yeah, I love a good afternoon card. Yeah, this is super exciting. Obviously, you know, the excitement is more about Khabib coming back. No knock on Dustin Poirier. But Khabib, you know, honestly, it's when you fight Conor and you have a war with him, you have that back and forth. It's like you instantly become a star. And now Poirier has the opportunity to take some of that as well. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many people see Poirier winning this fight, but the reality is there's no rhyme or reason anymore. We said the same thing last weekend about Zhang Weili. And she was able to stop what's her name in 42 seconds. So, what do you think here? Well, what do you think here?
Yeah, well, for one, I mean, number one, first thing, I mean, I'm impressed with Dustin Poirier, the way he's handling this whole thing. He's very motivated, and I thank you for some kind words you said about me that he's actually using for inspiration. I was the oldest person and had the most fights ever to get a title shot, and obviously I came good on that and I won the belt. And he's looking at that as inspiration. And I thank him for mentioning that because he's the second oldest or as many fights inside the UFC to get a title shot. And if I did it, then he can do it. And when I look at Dustin Poirier, yeah, I mean, the man's incredible. He's got an incredible record since he came back up to lightweight. I'm just looking at it now. Max Holloway, awesome performance. Beat Eddie Alvarez, former champion. Justin Gaethje, not a former champion in the UFC, but still, we all know an incredible fighter. Anthony Pettis beat him. That was a beatdown. And Jim Miller. And prior to that, there was also Eddie Alvarez, but that was a no contest. So since he's come up to lightweight, he's fought nothing but the best, okay? They're there. And that's an impressive list. Jim Miller, Anthony Pettis, Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez, and Max Holloway, right? That's a beautiful 5-fight win streak. But he's fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov. This fight comes down to one thing and one thing only, and it always comes down to this thing pretty much with Khabib. Can you stay on the feet? Can you not get taken down by Khabib Nurmagomedov? Because if he gets taken down, the fight's over, okay? I don't think Dustin's going to catch him in a submission. Can he work back to his feet? Yes. But the point I'm making is if he just gets taken down again, then you're just going to spend the entire fight trying to get back to your feet just to get taken down. If you can utilize excellent footwork, dance around the octagon, be elusive, and try and wear him down and get Khabib tired, you know, then he has a shot of winning this. I think if you look at it on paper, you gotta favor Nurmagomedov all day. Undefeated, the champion, beating better competition. And then if you look also, for example, when Poirier fought Eddie Alvarez had a lot of success taking Poirier down. Now, Poirier was able to get back up and get back to the striking and whatnot, but Eddie Alvarez is not the wrestler that Khabib Nurmagomedov is. He really isn't. So he's going to go out there and shock the world to make this one happen. He's going to shock the world. Will he do it? I don't know.
And we've seen a few of the guys that Dustin Poirier has lost to, Khabib has been able to handle. So Michael Johnson, Conor McGregor. I mean, just in almost every metric speaking, you'd have to favor Khabib. And, you know, to be honest with you, I mean, Dustin Poirier, he's an incredible competitor all around. But I think that Khabib could probably submit him as well. He's got a couple submissions losses, got a couple knockouts, got I guess a couple decisions and a knockout. But I think I see Khabib being able to get him down in the second or third round. I think Khabib's on another level.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry, I was just looking at another article. I was listening. I just pressed news to see what that came up with. It says Khabib to earn more than $6 million for UFC 242, which is tremendous. You know, it really is, and I'm happy for the man. I love to see fighters, you know, closing the gap on boxing. You know, I mean, years ago you would have never seen a $6 million payday for anyone in the UFC. So that's just beautiful. That's amazing. It really is. Who knows? It might be even more with the pay-per-view. But
I wonder how much payment, like, because everyone talks about the boxing. It's almost like an old topic at this point, boxing versus MMA. But if you were to look at the total payouts for the year in MMA, for the total payouts for the year in boxing, I wonder if MMA has surpassed boxing yet.
I doubt it. And the only reason I say that, and again, this is just a speculation, I haven't looked at any numbers, is that the payouts in boxing are so high. You know what I mean? They're so high. The big boxing fights, 15, 20, $30 million fights, you know. So all the rest of the MMA fights, you know, I mean, Jesus, you can take care of all of it with one of those millions. You know what I'm saying? But the boxers on the undercards of the big paydays, we know they earn very little. They earn like $100-$150, at least in the UFC. If you get to the UFC, you're earning good money. I think it's 15 or 20,000 guaranteed per fight, and another 15 or 20,000 if you win, you know, plus you're on a bigger platform. So right off the bat, you're earning way more money than a boxer. But as I'm saying, we're closing the gap. We're closing the gap on boxing. Boxing's been around forever. I'm not knocking the UFC. I'm commending the UFC. I'm saying it's great to see. But yeah, I mean, regarding the fight, listen, I would put 10,000 BIM coins on Nurmagomedov.
We don't have 10,000 BIM coin. You are Harrington. Where are we at on the BIM coin?
I included in the notes. Give me 1 sec. Look it up. I believe, Lewis, you are at 200, and Mike, you're at 150.
Right. Well, I'll put 150 BIM coins on the Nurmagomedov. In fact, that's probably not a smart bet because he's a massive favorite. What are the odds on that fight, Harrington?
I think I have minus 435. I'll double check that right now.
Yeah, maybe I'll do some sort of parlay because this is not gonna. What are the odds that it goes to the decision? Harrington, maybe that's the bet to make.
Just give him 1 second.
I only have 200 BIM coin. I mean, I gotta make some big moves here if I'm trying to fucking.
Listen, I'm gonna easy come, easy go. I don't care for the BIM coin. Okay, with the volatile stock market right now, you stick your BIM coin up your ass. I'm sticking with Timmy coin, Bitcoin, and my poker coin. Keep an eye out for that one. In the meantime, BIM coin, yeah, I throw it all on. Do you know what? I'm gonna throw it on Dustin Poirier for a laugh. I've got the Nurmagomedov winning, but you know, you want to get paid big, you're gonna risk big. 150 BIM coin. In fact, no, because I want to stay in the race. 145 BIM coin. So I got 5 BIM coins left if I lose on Dustin Poirier.
So, all right. So you have 140. You have 5 BIM coin left. You're 145.
If I lose, I've got 5 BIM coin left.
Hold on. You know what we should be able to do? We should be able to buy in more BIM coin if you lose all your BIM coin with real coin, with US dollars. But we got to donate to some sort of charity.
Hey, my mate Will Lowe from Timmy Coin. He could do us. He could do us a legit cryptocurrency for BIM coin. I'm telling you, BYM coin. I'm gonna be on the phone. We're gonna start and we're gonna sell it on this fucking podcast. We're gonna get rich, baby boy.
I love it. That's
the way. Cryptocurrency, BIM coins, BYM.
I just want a nice watch. If he could just send me a nice watch, I'll fucking sell him my soul. So all right. So Harrington, did you figure out the BIM coin dollars?
Yeah, you're looking at minus 167 to go to the decision.
Minus 167 to go to decision. So it's like they're saying it's likely going to decision. That's not great.
Yeah, I hate talking about odds. If I'm honest, because it gets a little difficult with the pluses and the minuses and all that type of stuff. But listen, you got to favor Nurmagomedov. He's the favorite. He's 27-0 for a reason. I do like to root for an underdog. I do like Dustin Poirier. I love for what he stands for. I love what he's about. I love that he's a working class guy. I love that he came from nothing and everything that he has, he truly works for, and he attained it by blood, sweat, and tears through his own 2 fists. That's beautiful. So for that regard, I wish him the best. But I'm also a big fan of Nurmagomedov. I am. You can't. This is coming from me. You can't not be a fan of how well he conducts himself. Now that said, he did pull a Nate Diaz. He wouldn't go to the media day today. He said, I addressed the media yesterday, so I won't be coming to the media today. That's what Diaz did in Anaheim a few weeks ago, if you recall.
Yeah, I know. And Connor did it a while ago before that. And Nick Diaz tried to do it back in the day with GSP, and they pulled him out of the fight, right? That was the first first guy that tried that. They were like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. And then eventually they were like, all right, fine. You guys win. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. What was I going to say about that? I was going to say something, but my mind's gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, what do you think? Do you think he has the right to do that? He's the champ.
Well, oh, yes. So, that's what I was going to say. I mean, he does have a right to do it. All fighters, I think, in my opinion, have the right to do it. But it's a necessary evil. It is a necessary evil. Like right now, he's on a percentage of the pay-per-view. Okay, it's a small percentage, but still, it's the opportunity to make a lot of money. So the more you speak to the media, the more publicized it's going to get. You're going to build your brand. You're going to potentially build that fight. Those reporters could have done an article that could have been seen by some people that weren't planning on buying the fight. That's how it works. And it's a necessary evil. You've got to do it. You've got to put yourself out there. But I also recognize from Khabib's side, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you're also building stock in yourself for the future. It's honestly one of the only things you can do as a fighter is create those moments both in and out of the cage. And you have everyone's eyes are on you. It's fight week. There's a huge fight, one of the biggest fights of the year. Now you can maybe get 2 or 3 big sound bites where everyone's writing about it. You maybe say something, you sort of set up the table for the next fight or whatever it is. I think that those are major opportunities to market yourself more than anything else. Not even just marketing the fight specifically, but for yourself overall. You think about your moments, conceive, believe, achieve. Fuck that fight in that moment. That's just a beautiful moment forever where you sort of have that highlight and it sort of defines who you are. You have an entire, 20 different little sound bites where you're like, that's who the fuck Bisping is. And I feel like Khabib is actually lacking in that department.
Yeah, he's lacking in that department mainly because that's not his thing. He generally does his talking in the octagon, although when he does talk, he does command authority when he talks. He does have a certain something to his presence. He has presence. That's the way he does have a presence for sure. But I was going to say listen, we all want to see it. Certainly the media members and the UFC want to see a fighter go out there and do all the media and things like that, which I do feel is their obligation. But there is also a cutoff point. Obviously, I was a fighter for a long time, so I get it. Certainly Khabib, who's had problems making weight, on the Wednesday or the Thursday. No, I think it was Thursday. It's getting close to weight cut time. It's getting close to the time where you go and get in that sauna. And who knows? Maybe he's not on schedule for his weight. Maybe he's like, fuck, I haven't got time to be going out there, sitting there and doing all these interviews. I got to start cutting weight. I got to get my shit together. I got to focus. I got to meditate. I got to pray. He's a devout Muslim. Maybe he's got, his little ritual that with the time difference and all the rest of it didn't play into it. I don't know. I'm looking for, an excuse, but not an excuse, a reason as to why he would do that. Because I don't think he's a diva. I don't think he's gone to his head. He's like, I've got to focus on the task at hand. And sometimes I thought that because the PR people, PR companies in general, they don't really give a damn about anything. Everybody wants to get their job done in life, right? If you're on a movie set, the sound guy, or in a studio, the sound guy, that's the most important job, right? Everyone, the job that they do is the most important job. Fuck everything else. And I used to say, when I was in the UFC sometime and I was supposed to do something and I'd done so much, and they'd be like, well, you got to come here and do that. I'm like, no way, I don't want to do that. So, oh no, come on, you got to do it. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. I lose my fight, you guys ain't calling again. Next time, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the whirlwind tour. I'm not flying all over the world. I'm not going up for press days to New York if I don't win this fight. So yeah, I get it. The press is important and we're going to publicize the fight. But my most important job, just like your most important job, Mr. Very, very nice PR person, is getting me to do these interviews. My most important job, by far and large, is winning this fucking fight. And if doing this right now detracts from me winning the fight, I'm just trying to give I'm trying to give the other side to Khabib.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. There was, that's always been sort of a discussion or a narrative. I remember just the pressure of becoming a star. Because before you become a star, before people want to shove microphones in your face, before every podcast and every radio show is talking about you, really the only pressure is just winning those fights. Just win, be a badass, maybe get in the octagon interview, you have a moment with Joe Rogan. But the reality is, like, you're not doing commercials. And it's so much more time consuming that people understand. Like, it's not like when you show up for a television taping or a commercial shoot or whatever, it's an all day thing. I know for myself, I was just traveling for a week. I've been trying to diet and exercise, and I was just traveling. I was like, I just can't get to the gym. I can't find the time to get to the gym. So now I imagine you have to, do interviews. You have, 30 interviews scheduled between now and the fight. You have morning, you have, nighttime TV. You're a major star. You have all of these obligations, TV, promo shoots. And then you have to also be top peak physical condition, be the absolute best. That would start fucking with my head. I would start going like, holy shit, dude, I'm not going to win this fight because I have I'm talking to Errol Hawani right now. This isn't going to help me win the fight. So I can understand that just on a personal level with somebody who struggles to get to the gym for an hour just to get on a treadmill.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to stop saying 100%, my God. But no, I totally agree with you, Mike. Thank you, Daniel. Because these days it's different. They have trifecta meals for the UFC. So a lot of the talent, a lot of the fighters, when they get there, they have their meals taken care of for them. Okay, so that the guesswork is all taken out of it. But back in my day, I remember I'd fly to wherever. Let's say I was in Japan or China or Australia, wherever the bloody fight was. Yeah, you're right. You got to do all your media. You got to do all those types of things. But then you got to eat. And then you go out there and you're going into a restaurant and you're looking at the menu and you're going up and down and you're like, Jesus, what is the cleanest thing on here? I want no carbohydrates, no salt, no sauces. And I remember speaking to chefs saying, hey, sorry, not the chef, the waiter, saying, hey, please, can you tell the chef no salt on that food? And they don't get it. And you don't want to sound like an asshole and say, here's the thing. I'm fighting at the weekend. I'm the main event. I've got to cut weight by 15 pounds. Number one, they don't understand what that means. Cut weight by 15 pounds. So you're speaking a foreign language to them instantly. So you don't bother wasting your time by saying that, but you just implore them, please, please. I used to tell them, I'm allergic to salt. I'm allergic to salt. I can't have salt.
It's not even a real thing.
That's not a real thing. You can't be allergic to salt. I'm allergic to salt. Okay, what can I tell you? I have a very, very rare condition. So yeah, no, you're right, Lewis.